What's going on, Mayberry boys? Welcome back to a brand new reaction video on the YouTube channel. Today we're checking out another death battle. We have Magneto versus Tetsuo. If I pronounced that wrong, I am so freaking sorry. Before we get in the reaction, make sure you guys hit that like button, comment down below, guys, which you want me to react to next, and don't forget to hit that big fat subscribe button for some more juicy bangers. Without further ado, let's get in the reaction. No wasting any time. Let's freaking go!
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by HelloFresh and Bespoke Post.
I really like the last death battle, though. That was nice. Rooster teeth.
Magneto, Marvel's mutant master of magnetism.
Tetsuo Shima, Akira's telekinetic terror of Neo-Tokyo.
I think it's
These two maestros of kinesis have ignited revolution not just in their worlds, but also the very mediums they exist within.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job
Sup,
to analyze their
Boomstick, sup,
weapons,
Wiz.
armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
So I'm predicting Magneto wins
the
this.
short duration of modern civilization.
I don't know
Tetsuo
Tetsuo or I don't know.
War. In the
Gotta butcher his
primary
name
Marvel
again,
616 universe, this fact is no different, especially to the Eisenhart family and their only son.
You may know him as Magnus, Eric, or Max.
Eric.
But if you ask him, he'd
Eric.
say his true name is Magneto.
As a Jewish child in Nazi Germany, Magneto's early life
6'2"?
was, well,
190?
extremely
Pretty
traumatic.
built, dude.
Even after eventually
Mega
escaping
level mutant.
certain death with his future
Brother of
wife,
evil mutants,
misfortune
X-Men, Hellfire
always
Club.
followed wherever
Dislikes
he went.
Thanks to his
discrimination,
unexpected
Nazis
mutation called
putting
the
guns.
X gene, the mark of
Okay.
a superhuman. After settling down in Russia with his new family, the KGB quickly found out about this quirk, so they burned his house down with his own daughter inside.
Oh, Christ.
Naturally, he snapped and killed them all. I don't blame him. I'd do that too. Too bad his wife didn't get it and ditched him, though. But that's when Magneto made a choice. Since humans hurt him his entire life, he'd do the same to them in the name of mutants everywhere.
At first, Magneto turned to the telepathic powerhouse Charles Xavier and his fledgling team of heroes. But his new friend wasn't thrilled with the idea of, subjugating the human race. So, Magneto formed his own team of mutants, the Brotherhood.
Magneto can telekinetically move, bend, and reshape any metal he's
Magneto
aware
is
of.
badass,
Bullets,
dude.
vehicles, buildings, you name it.
Love
Even
Magneto.
himself when he manipulates his personal magnetic field for flight and energy barriers.
Magnetic kinesis is far more versatile than it would appear at first glance. The blood in your body has iron in it. The air has traces of lead and mercury. Whole mountains are lined with metallic ore. The Earth itself is surrounded by a literal magnetic field.
So many toys for Maggie to play with. He can detect magnetic fields at such a huge
I love the
range.
quality
he
of
can
these
even
videos, man.
pinpoint
They're,
Earth's
like,
magnetic rays
this channel
while
is just
stranded
such
on a
good
planet
quality,
in
dude.
another galaxy. And guess
Really
what?
take, like,
he was
pride
able
in,
to
like,
use those rays to pull himself
watching
back
this
to
stuff.
Earth
It's
in
just
a
so
single
good. Put together
day.
so well.
His range is even more remarkable than that. Did you know that in 1820, physicist Hans Christian Ørsted discovered that electric currents, like those of electrons and
not
protons
know
and
this.
atoms, produce their own magnetic fields? Magneto can fine-tune his
Actually, I might have
control to
known that.
affect these very subatomic particles.
Kind of
Dummy
brain
here
dead.
will illustrate such a particle, with positively charged protons and negative electrons.
My life is as meaningless as an atom is small.
So what you're saying is Magneto could, like, yank one of those out.
Correct, potentially changing an atom's entire chemical makeup. However, neutrons do not have a charge, and without the ability to adjust those to accommodate the change in atomic mass, the atom would become unstable and
Finally!
Well, that was stupid.
do that. Magneto's violent protest against humankind clashed with Xavier's peaceful reconciliation, not unlike the ideologies taught by Malcolm X and Dr. King, by whom Stan Lee and Jack Kirby were inspired. Magneto would spend most of his career pushing Xavier away to prove his philosophies superior, which meant doing battle with Xavier's school of thought, quite literally.
And Baldy's mind powers are no joke, but thanks to Magneto's psionic repelling helmet, Professor X couldn't touch him. Magneto survived Cyclops' earth-splitting lasers, absorbed the power of the sun to battle Iron Man, ripped the adamantium skeleton
Iron
out of
Man's
Wolverine's
butt.
body, and even taken on Hercules himself. You know, the Greek legend, Zero to Hero, the guy who held up the skies of Olympus for Atlas? That Hercules.
Seems sensible. Magneto once used the Earth's magnetic field to overwhelm the Phoenix Force, which can effortlessly destroy planets, let alone far more.
Hell, if he really wanted to, Magneto could totally just fling the Earth off its axis.
It's entirely possible he may have eventually resorted to just that. Over time, it became clear Magneto's war was doing far more harm than good for his fellow mutants, however well-intentioned he may have been at first.
Luckily, he later realized he was going a bit overboard and began reevaluating his perspective. Good for you, Mags. It's really tough to recognize when you're the baddie.
It took time and patience not just from Magneto, but also from his peers. Yet eventually, his path was completely changed. He even became a leader for Xavier's X-Men.
But don't let his new goody two-shoes ways fool you. Whenever there's a threat to mutants, you can bet Magneto will be there to annihilate it. Forever.
I love this
by
scene.
any means
X-Men First Class was
necessary.
so good, dude. So freaking good.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by HelloFresh.
With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients.
Actually,
and
we
seasonal
tried
recipes delivered right
HelloFresh
to your doorstep.
once,
Skip
and
trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh
wasn't
to make home
the
cooking
best.
easy, fun, and
They-
affordable.
like, the
That's
food
why
came,
it's
like,
America's
super
#1 meal kit.
goddamn
HelloFresh now
moldy,
has
bro.
30
And I was like,
recipes to choose from every single week. That's the
like,
most
ah,
choices of any
she,
meal
no, we
Foolproof
got moldy
step-by-step
food, bro,
recipes
moldy
mean a
potatoes.
joyful cooking experience and a stress-free summer.
How would you
Plus,
guys like it?
HelloFresh
I
cuts
gave you
back
moldy
on time
potatoes.
spent in the
Exactly.
kitchen with
You feel
meals
pretty
ready in
bad.
around 30 minutes or less.
HelloFresh is 72% cheaper than dining at a restaurant and is even cheaper than grocery shopping.
Maybe it
That's
wasn't
money back
HelloFresh,
in your
though.
pocket.
HelloFresh has definitely saved me on
Do
more
they
than
give
one
you
occasion.
food with
Mad
your,
scientists
like,
myself
orders?
don't always have the time to do all their own cooking from scratch.
I have no
Go to
idea.
HelloFresh.com/DeathBattle16 and use code DeathBattle16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts.
That's HelloFresh.com/DeathBattle16 and use the code DeathBattle16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts.
HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit.
Is it really?
Over 30 years ago, a new type of bomb was set off over Tokyo, and 9 hours later began the Third World War.
Welcome to 2030, or 2019 if you're watching the anime. The buildings are taller, the motorcycles are cooler, and the future is brighter.
I've actually never seen
No,
this.
wait, not
so-
really. If you find yourself in the Capsule Gang,
That's why I
you'll
don't know
meet
him as
Shotaro
much.
Kaneda, who's like your textbook anime Chad. Gets the ladies, beats the baddies, and cops the sweetest rigs.
Is it
Man,
Sotoro?
I
Is
need
that
to
how I
get me
pronounce
one
it?
of
I'm
those.
not. like,
And
100%,
then there's
dude.
the little brother of the group, Kaneda's best friend, Tetsuo Shima.
Oh, Tetsuo
He's-
Shima.
Well,
See, I've heard the
The
name. I
exact
just don't
opposite.
watch anime
A
very
total
often.
wimp. As a kid, Tetsuo in his college thesis forehead got bullied for being the new kid at the orphanage. That's until Big Bro Kaneda came to the rescue.
Eventually, the two went to vocational school
He's
together
5'4".
and formed the Capsules. But
162.
Tetsuo was never satisfied with Kaneda being the leader of the pack. Tetsuo desired more than anything to be top dog.
Oh, I can just see that monkey's paw curling in my mind. Or that kid walking down the street. Shit! Tetsuo, watch out! You're gonna... That definitely should have killed him.
Yeah.
But since it didn't, Tetsuo earned himself a ticket to military confinement. Turns out they had an under-the-table program for developing child superweapons.
In the same program that backfired
Hey, was
and
that 11
jump-started
from
the
Stranger
war,
Things?
Tetsuo became Japan's Esper number 41.
He may not have been a natural with bikes, baddies, or babes, but
Yeah.
this telekinesis stuff hit
Ooh.
different. He walked out of that hospital ward effortlessly flying, reading minds, and blending
good,
people
though. I
into
might actually
strawberry
check this out.
jelly. Tetsuo got what he wanted. Power, along with the hunger for more of it.
A
His head is
hunger that
massive.
used to only be satiated with drugs. And not just any gateway drug, pills so potent that a single gram of the stuff could kill you.
So, pretty bad. Kinda reminds me of college days, huh? Snow wizard.
Tetsuo's main ability is his constantly increasing psionic energy, growing more and more powerful over time. This is due to Tetsuo's link to, quote, the memories of the universe, end quote. It's weird.
Either way, Tetsuo leveled up from lame gangbuster to certified badass.
Oh, yeah.
This guy is a walking natural disaster. His telekinesis can shake the planet, easily cause earthquakes over a dozen miles below the surface. He can summon psychic barriers for defense and crush foes with friggin' gravity wells. He can dart around as a literal bolt of lightning or even teleport in an instant.
Tetsuo's telekinesis
sick,
can
dude.
be so precise he can target and obliterate specific parts of the body. He can heal severe wounds
Dude, so he
quickly,
can, like,
but even after losing a whole
use his
limb,
powers to
he
blow
can
up someone's
craft a new
penis?
one
Is that-
using
is that a
whatever
thing?
nearby
I'm
materials he wants.
Just saying.
With these
Just
powers,
saying. It's an
Top
option.
Dog Kaneda didn't matter anymore. Who needed his approval?
Telekinesis,
Tetsuo
psychic
tasted that
barriers,
good
regeneration.
shit and he was hooked. And when he found out
can
another
read it off.
expert named Akira could deal him even more power, he rampaged through Tokyo to find him.
He's like a
And
nuclear
this is
bomb.
where versions of the story differ.
Spoilers ahoy!
You may be familiar with the 1988 animation, where Akira had been dissected for research. However, in the original manga, Akira is not only alive, but even more powerful.
Once that little runt nuked Tokyo, Tetsuo would erect the Great Tokyo Empire with Akira and himself as its leaders. But he ended up just abusing the position for endless sex and inflating his ego.
With Kanada's rebellion at his front door, Tetsuo took a turn for the worse. He had to fight.
Tetsuo's defeated
Yo,
other powerful
thank you for the
espers,
juicy
dodged
sub,
light-speed
baby.
lasers, and jumped to the moon faster than
Cratered
anyone
the
could
moon.
blink, and then punched a big old hole in it. And if you ask, Boomerstick, wouldn't that mess up gravity on Earth? You would be right, because it totally did. Screwed the planet, I guess. Stupid moon.
Which brings us to Tetsuo's folly. His abuse of his powers spiraled until he lost control. Unfortunately for Kanada's rebellion, this did not make Tetsuo an easier enemy to confront. Exactly opposite, in fact, has Tetsuo painfully mutated into an unstoppable behemoth.
Damn.
Yep, that's not totally
Damn.
disturbing at all.
I'm happy to say the manga's version is even more disturbing.
I mean, I know babies can be monsters, but that's a whole nother level.
It is pain incarnate. I can relate. Another Esper described Tetsuo's struggle as ego death, which has multiple definitions, but in this case is likely symbolic of the version attributed to drug use.
Yeah, it's described as a shedding of one's own identity, like how LSD can emulate a wild out-of-body experience, and you come back with a new perspective.
LSD
Though
is an
this
aid.
is
Nope.
maybe a little more
never done
extreme.
it. Don't
In
do
fact,
drugs,
you
kids.
could say Tetsuo was shedding his human body to play with the powers of a god.
I wish I could shed out of my body. But in this case,
Morty.
Tetsuo going full out of body meant becoming a mound of raw, ever-expanding energy.
Which almost nuked Tokyo all over again. And those explosions are not normal. I would know.
Top scientists in both the manga and animated versions describe these explosions as births of a new universe.
Given its properties of nuclear fusion and proton collapse, Tetsuo's mutated form was likely creating a big
baby.
bang.
You know, the thing that started our whole universe?
Right, in the manga, it instead ended the Espers and their abilities once and for all. A testament that humankind is unsuited to wield the powers of the divine.
Though the anime's even more trippy. Thanks to Akira and his buddies, Tetsuo got so high on ego death, he ascended time-space to become god of a new universe. Kinda worth it, right?
And yet, Kanada kept his empire up in his honor, now as the Great Akira Empire. Ironically, in death, Tetsuo finally received the attention he so desperately craved.
Pretty cool.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Bespoke Post.
Take your
Sponsored
summer
by
adventures
everything.
to the next level with Bespoke Post and their new seasonal
Bespoke
lineup
Post.
of must-have Box of Awesome collections.
Bespoke Post partners with small businesses. and
Actually, I'm gonna
emerging
take a photo of
brands
this
to
real
bring
quick
you
'cause
the
I'm gonna
most
check this
unique
out.
goods every month, like the Carnivore Box, which has this amazing American barbecue rub, perfect
Yep.
for a true carnivore
Boom.
like myself.
Maybe
no matter
this will
what
be
you have
better
going
than
on this season, Box
better-
of Awesome has you
than-
covered. From camping gear essentials to beach day and travel must-haves, Box of Awesome has everything you need for summer.
To get started, take the quiz at boxofawesome.com. Your answers will help them pick the right Box of Awesome for you. Each box is valued
I'm backwards.
at
I went to a
around
trampoline
$70,
park
but you
and-
only pay a fraction
God
of that
dang,
price.
bro.
Plus, with each Box of Awesome, you're
Sore.
supporting small businesses. 90% of everything that comes in your Box of Awesome is from a small up-and-coming brand.
It's free to sign up, and you can skip a month or cancel anytime.
Get 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com and enter the code DEATHBATTLE at checkout.
That's
Imagine entering
boxofawesome.com, code
Death
Death Battle
Battle
for
code.
20%
That's
off
sick.
your first box. Boxofawesome.com.
I want a code.
Death Battle.
Code Draven.
All right, the combatants
Here we
are
go.
set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
Let's get it.
It's time
Magneto,
for a Death
I'm holding you to win this. I'm holding you to win this. Hey, yeah. Oh, it's the pixel Magneto. Nice.
Wrong country, Grandpa! You're in Akira turf now!
Hell yeah.
You're dead meat!
Impudent child.
The hell are you calling child? I make the rules around here!
Damn. Magneto, come on, baby. There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, Oh my god, it ain't looking good for Magneto right now.
You're wasting my time.
Just take a coin and put it through his head. Oh my!
Parlor trick.
He just cut his arm off?
Master of magnetism.
I didn't see his arm come off. Did his arm come off? Oh no, it didn't come off.
Kill you! Your history, scumbag!
Damn! Tetsuo is badass. I feel like Tetsuo might win this. I don't know. Nah. We're going with Magneto. Oh! Oh! Yo! Magneto, what are you doing? No! His helmet came off. He's done for.
I believe I've had enough tantrums to last a lifetime.
What the? Oh shit, Magneto. What did you just do?
Listen, welcome. I'll handle this on my own. Not die! Hurts. Help me.
What did you say happened?
Poor child.
Oh my god!
Thank you.
Did he win?
You are welcome.
Did Magneto won? Oh my god, I thought he was done for, bro. Shit! I thought he was done for.
I'm never doing that again.
Tetsuo's
Tetsuo almost had him, bro.
Abilities certainly gave Magneto pause, but the Master of Magnetism had greater control over his foe.
The numbers don't
I
lie.
thought it when his helmet came
Tetsuo
off, I thought he was
cratering
done
the
for.
moon was insane, but Magneto punched Iron Man with the force of the sun. And while Tetsuo jumped all the way to the moon, Magneto could move across galaxies.
Against Tetsuo in his human form, Magneto obviously held a sizable advantage in power and speed.
But stats aren't all that matters. With his precise telekinesis, Tetsuo could just target Magneto's organs. GG, right?
Yes, but Magneto had similar skills. There are very few substances on Earth that lack any metallic or magnetic component, and Magneto is very
Silver Surfer.
creative with his powers.
Which he could use to predict Tetsuo's teleportation and even shut down his telekinesis. And his scraps with Xavier prove he could handle Tetsuo's messing with his head. The biggest challenge for Magneto was when Tetsuo's gross mutated power came into play.
Especially given how the detonations from this form were compared to that of a Big Bang. Although the authenticity of that observation is questionable. In truth, the Big Bang was a sudden expansion of matter on a universal scale, whereas Tetsuo's explosions are more akin to nuclear blasts, clearly intentional given the post-war symbolism of the Akira story.
The whole creating an alternate universe bit wasn't even part of the original material, so we can't exactly call it canon.
But let's just say the comparison wasn't superfluous. Let's say Tetsuo did in fact cause a Big Bang capable of creating or destroying an entire universe, alternate or otherwise.
Turns out Magneto had the tools to stop that too. Helmet Head could overpower Hercules, who was strong enough to hold up the skies of Olympus, which is literally heaven and an alternate universe.
This doesn't necessarily mean Magneto could easily destroy a universe with a snap of his fingers, but it does prove he can match a similar
Yeah.
level of power. And context is everything. Tetsuo's Big Bang eruption specifically exhibited proton collapse, meaning its atomic structure was primarily an unstable mess of neutrons and electrons. And Magneto has detected and commanded unstable electrons before.
Predicted it.
This means Magneto had every means available
Champion,
to
did you
take
guys get it right?
control over this Big Bang.
Damn, and I thought he could just move some metal around. It's like the question posed by some of the greatest prophets of our time. Fucking magnets. How do they even work?
Magneto's astonishing power and intelligent control over all things magnetism triumphed in the end.
Tetsuo pushed his luck, but didn't have the metal to pull off the win.
The winner is Magneto.
Told y'all.
Thank you for
Let's get
watching
it.
this episode.
All
if
right.
you'd like to directly support the
That was it. That was it. That was a nice death battle. I really enjoyed that one. I called it. I know. I'm a freaking beast. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys like this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.